YOLO everyone! So this is where you actually get to do some hard questions, some questions that may appear on your test or the quiz. So let's take a look at the first floor, and then we have another floor, and then we have the boss floor. Floor 1 is going to be easy compared to the floor 2, then floor 2 is going to be easy compared to the floor boss. Okay, so let's take a look at the floor 1. And it says MOP 1. If a terminal arm made by the origin and the point A, find the angle of rotation in a counterclockwise. Round your answer to the nearest 3 decimal places. So simple way of doing this is first visualize. Like trigonometry is somewhat the combination of algebra and geometry, so it's actually quite useful and beneficial if you do draw or sketch. So let's take a look at this one. The point A is somewhere negative 12 comma negative 5. So it's in the third quadrant. We know that for sure, right? So we do the triangle. We have a point right there. Negative 12 comma negative 5. So now I will zoom in. When you have this, the first thing that has to come into your mind is first, Kester rule. That's something that you have to do. Second, let's find the R. Because it says find the rotational angle. That means you're looking for this. You're looking for the theta, right? You're looking for the theta. However, theta will be easy for us to find if we do know the related acute angle. I'm going to call this one alpha for now. Let's find the r. So what is my r? R is the square root of the x squared plus the y squared. So it is negative 12 squared plus negative 5 squared. And using your calculator, it's going to give you positive 13. Then the second thing that you have to do is the point is in the third quadrant. Therefore, we're using the tangent ratio, which is the third quadrant positive ratio. Tangent of the alpha, the related acute angle, equals y over x, which is then negative 5 over negative 12, which is 5 over 12. So let's find the alpha by using the inverse of the tangent. So tangent inverse 5 over 12, and that should give you 22.620 degrees. But remember, the third step is then the theta is just the rotational angle, which is 180 rotation plus that much of the alpha. Therefore, it is 180 plus then 22.62 degrees, which is then 202.62 degrees. So the key here is always use the ratio that's positive in that quadrant. If the point, let's say, for example, was in the second quadrant, then you're going to be using sine. If it was in the last quadrant, the fourth quadrant, then it's going to be the cosine. What if it is in the first quadrant? Well, if it is in the first quadrant, use whichever you like, since everything is positive in the first quadrant. Hopefully that was not too difficult. Now then the next mop, the mop 2 is then this. One of the primary trigonometric ratios for an angle is given, as well as the quadrant in which the terminal arm lies. Find the other two primary trigonometric ratios of that angle A. So here then sine A equals negative 3 over 5 in the fourth quadrant as the given information. Now, when you're dealing with this, the first thing again to find is the sine A is always y over r, and r is another thing that we have to find. So that's the first thing that we have to do. When you're dealing with a coordinate question in the trigonometry, find the r. Here we know that sine A equals negative 3 over 5, and that means my y is negative 3, not the r. The reason is very simple because remember r represents the radius of the circle, we call it unit circle, and that radius is the distance, therefore we cannot have a negative value for the radius. That's why this negative is always with either x or y. Let's then draw this situation. So the second step, let's draw the situation. We know this point is in the fourth quadrant, so somewhere there. And this point is x comma negative 3 because we know what the y is. And we know the radius is 5, so there's the triangle. Now, this angle over there is our angle A. And I'm going to call again this angle as a alpha for now. Now, the y is this one, but using, again, Pythagorean theorem, since this is a right angle triangle, we can say 5 squared equals x squared plus negative 3 squared. And if you do solve this, I'm going to speed up now. So x squared is a 16. X then is plus minus 4. We have to reject the negative 4 since the point is in the fourth quadrant. That means your x value is positive. Your x value is 4, not negative 4. Some questions may not designate which quadrant the point is going to be. And in this case, if the quadrant was not given, then the point could be either in the fourth quadrant where the x is being positive, y is being negative, or the third where x is being negative and the y is also negative. So keep that in mind. Then we're almost done. We found the x, we found the y, we found the r. Therefore, our third step is to find the other two ratios, and that is cosine of the angle A equals x over r, which in this case is 4 over 5. Your tangent of an A is then y over x. Y was negative 3, and then your x is then 4, so negative 3 over 4. So that was a simple. Hopefully the floor 1 was not so difficult. Floor 2 is going to be something that is a little more tricky. So floor 2 is something that is trickier than floor 1 because it is a word problem that you actually have to be able to draw 3D onto 2D. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, please don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. I'll see you in the floor 2. Bye guys.